Node sides and angles. When you're looking at the trig relationship, so SOHCAHTOA, that's all about relationships between sides and angles. So if you've been given a side and an angle, you should be able to find another missing side. If you've been given sides, you should be able to find the angle as well, because it's all about a relationship. Okay? So for example, we're trying to find angles. And this is depicted by the theta symbol. Or it could be an X or a Y or a Z. It's a right angle triangle, but you don't know what those two angles are. That's what we're trying to find out. Okay? And you can see that because they'll say it in the question, find the missing angle. Okay? That's what they'll ask you in the question. You've been given two sides. First step is always to label your triangle. As always, there's no difference. Okay? Yep?
Couldn't you just do Pythagoras on that?
But I'm not trying to find a missing side. What am I trying to find? I'm trying to find the theta. I'm trying to find a missing angle. Okay? But if you were trying to find the hypotenuse, then of course. Okay? But at the moment, you're trying to find the theta symbol. Okay? So can you push the desk forward a little bit more? Because it's not coming, you're not seeing the screen as well. Can you pull that forward a little bit? Okay. Thank you. Okay, so you're trying to find the missing angle. Once we do that, our first step is still always the same, is label. So what would the 8 represent? Yep. Opposite, good. 5? Adjacent. Okay, so we've got adjacent, we've got opposite. Which one of the trig relationships have opposite and adjacent? TOA, good. So I write down, obviously, that relationship down. Still the same step as last time. There's no difference. I plug in my numbers, like I did. Okay, tan theta. I don't know what theta is. So I can't put in a degree like I did last time, because that's what my unknown is. So this time, I want to separate the tan and the theta. What are they always sealed together with? What are they always smushed together? Multiplication. So to bring that over to the other side, on your calculator, instead of saying divide everything by tan, on your calculator you have a button, okay? And it's the Shift tan -1 button, okay? So if you press Shift tan, above it in yellow it says tan -1 to the power of -1. That's like your division button. That's the inverse of it. So that's what you're doing. You're doing the inverse of tan. Good one. Okay? So the inverse of tan is just theta. You press Shift tan, and that's going to give you tan -1. Okay? So Shift tan, and then 8 divided by 5, and it will give you your answer. So that is the inverse operation of tan, which is the tan -1. Okay, and then it's the relationship, which is 8 divided by 5. Because I'm trying to find the angle. I'm not trying to find a side. So what is my unknown? My unknown is that. Yeah, so every time I'm trying to find an angle, I shift it, either cos, tan, or sine. Each one of them has an inverse. If you look above, they all have their inverse operation. Okay? Only for angles. Good one. So that's a good note to write down. Okay, so for angles, for finding missing angles, it's the inverse, which is shift, whichever trig relationship it is. Shift trig. Okay, so it's always the -1. Okay? Any questions regarding that? Okay, let's try this one. So the triangle 10 on the hypotenuse, 6 on the other side. What's my first step always? Label, good. So how would I label that?
6 is opposite and 10 to hypotenuse.
6 is opposite, 10 is hypotenuse, good. So which one of these has opposite and hypotenuse? So sin. So I write it down.
Sin theta equals opposite over hypotenuse.
Good.
6 over 10.
Good. Which is 6 over 10. This is where you will make mistakes. Trust me. You will either, in an exam, this is the visual check you have to do. Some of you guys were missing this step. Please do not miss this step, because it's so easy to plug in the wrong numbers. And then you would have done everything wrong. Okay? So please don't miss that step. Once that's done, what do I do? So it's exactly kind of what we did last lesson. But shift it. Okay? And also you need to read the question. If the question says, okay, so it's theta is 0.6 times sin, which gives me a long answer, 36.87. This is in decimals. What else can the question ask you to do it in? Degrees. So what would I do to that? Press the degree button. Okay? If you need to read the question. If the final part of the question says, find theta to the nearest degree, find theta to the nearest degree, then I need to change that. You just press that degree button.
What, at the final answer? So once we got 6 over 10 times sin.
Once we get that,
Yeah.
press that degree button.
But why are we doing the sin bringing down to 0.6?
I've just rewritten it by accident on my PowerPoint.
Oh,
Same thing.
yeah. What's the 0? Yeah.
Yeah? Okay? Are we good with that? Not hard. Okay? 4.07, every other question. Oh, yeah, sorry? Pardon? I didn't. Doesn't make a difference which goes first. It doesn't make a difference if tan -1 goes first or the fraction goes first. Doesn't make a difference.